As I'm sure you guys are aware, the next chapter of Bluelock should be the end of the PXG game, and whoever scores the last gold match. Now, I decided to make this video to know what I think is going to happen in this next chapter and who I think is going to score. Now, if you guys like this type of content, please remember that like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Thank you so much for all the support recently. Without further ado, let's get right into this video. Now, I know from the thumbnail and the title, you guys are probably thinking, oh, this guy's going to say Ness is going to score the final goal. Now, there are two possibilities in my head on what is going to happen for this final goal. The first one being, we know how the ball is in the air right now. What I think is going to happen is Ness is going to take the ball in the air and either shoot the ball straight into the back of the net or maybe do something else with it. Maybe pass the ball or something like that. But I do think that Ness is going to definitely get the ball in the air right here and intercept it. Now, that is only the first possibility I can think of. The second possibility I can think of is Isagi predicting the fact that Ness would come in and then Isagi using Ness's thing to come in to get a diversion from Rin, who has to block the shot, get open, and finish the goal. Now, this all comes down to my interpretation of Ness becoming a new person. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what type of new person he'll become. Is he going to become... Because usually when Bluelock, we see evolution. The person is definitely like a positive evolution. Like they turn into a better person overall. Like look at Kaiser, look at Barrow. They turn into a better person. But we've never seen a negative evolution in Bluelock. For that, I mean like... Let's say his mentality gets even more egoistic after this. Like, he gets too egoistic after this. Whereas the fact that before, he just wasn't passing to Isagi. Now, he's trying to score all the goals by himself without anybody magic. Like, he doesn't need anyone's magic anymore. And he's just trying to score all these goals by himself. Now, I think the first one's more true, that he's going to just pass to Isagi and develop like that. Like, oh, I don't need Kaiser. I'm going to go look for all the magic around the world, yada, yada, yada. But at the same time, it would be very interesting to see the dynamic in the German national team if Ness was the one who ended up scoring the final goal and Ness becomes an egotistic like guy. What I absolutely know for sure is the fact that Ness should have abandoned Kaiser by now. Like by now, I think Ness is above Kaiser. Like not above him like skill, but like over him. Like he's over Kaiser and he shouldn't be going back to him anytime soon. But at the end of the day, I do think that when he intercepts this ball, there's only really two options that we have already spoken about. You know what I mean? So him passing the ball to Kaiser is just out. Like, if he ends up passing the ball to Kaiser, it's out of the ordinary. And also, I need to bring something up. When was the last time a Bluelock player actually hit the bar or the post? It feels like that shit never happens anymore. Anyways, that's going to lead to my next point of what if Ness shoots but gets blocked or misses? That's a big possibility right there. And then once he gets blocked and misses, someone goes in for the rebound and taps it in. Now, I see a lot of people saying that Kunigami, they want Kunigami to score last goal. I'm sorry to break it to all of those people right now. Kunigami is not scoring anything. And the reason for that is Kunigami, his role going forward in the series has kind of been established now. We didn't get a wild card flashback. But the main thing for his conflict, has basically already been resolved. Now, if Kaneshiro is going to go the extra step, and maybe in the U20 World Cup, we're going to get a whole backstory of what he went through during the wild card to end up like that, and then get a full redemption, then that will shock me. Because I do think that Kunigami's arc and everything about him is done now. I think everything, like, in the Neo-Egoist League that was mysterious about Kunigami that I wanted to know more about, I just don't give a fuck about anymore because he's going to turn into a freaking CDM. And as a striker who has Noel Noah's physicals is going to go in and guard a striker. So, yeah, Kunigami has kind of regressed a lot as a character for me. And, yeah, I really think he's not doing anything. Another thing that could happen is Isagi actually wins the ball that's in the air. It drops into his feet. Isagi uses a new move that he's conjured up, kind of like the two-gun volley, and then smashes the ball into the back of the net on Rin's head top for the game. Now, that, I don't know how I'd feel about that, because that'll be probably like the third time that Daster Munchin has pulled out something like a totally new move. Like we seen with Hiyori and Isagi, like they passed each other at the end of the last game without even looking when they've never done that before. So yeah, I think that was kind of bullshit. And if this happens, if he just comes in, uses an entirely different move, bounces the ball off the floor or something, and then shoots on Rin's head and scores, I wouldn't like it because we just established Rin as a good defender, as a very like big opponent. I think he deserves to be defeated by something that makes sense. It's not some new power up. It's cheap. It degrades his character, I think. So yeah, I really think that Isagi should not, by any circumstances, pull out some new move. If he's gonna score, let him score like the normal way. You know what I'm saying? Let him score how everyone else scored in this series. But please, Kaneshiro, do not give Isagi another power-up. Now, another thing that could happen, I think, is Kaiser adopting the Rio ego, where, like, Kaiser doesn't want to be the best in the world, but in order to seek out the most magic in the world, Kaiser develops a pass where he's able to give the ball to Kaiser on a Magnus impact anytime. Like, every single time, he can get the ball stopping right in front of him, and Kaiser could shoot it. It could be like a spin pass or something like that. Because I'm just thinking about, on Germany, guys, is there going to be anyone who could give him the Magnus, like, consistently? I know he might just train and unlock it like that, but it'll be more optimal if Kaiser's able to move off the ball, and someone could just dot him up with that, and then he could just use it anytime he wants. That'll be a very scary matchup. I've been saying that in the U20 World Cup. So, yeah, imagine if Ness ends up maybe conjuring up a pass that could allow Kaiser to use the Magnus every time, and the ball curves all the way to Kaiser. It's like some crazy pass, and Kaiser hits it with the Magnus and scores the last goal. I think that would be sick because it also sets up for the U20 World Cup. It establishes Ness now as not just Kaiser's minion, but a valiant ally that Kaiser, has by his side in the U20 World Cup. So I think that would gain him a little bit more respect in the community and, just the fandom. Like, okay, Ness is not a bad midfielder. Like, he's actually pretty decent. He's not just a dick sucker anymore. Anyways, guys, that'll do it for all the analysis and speculation for tonight's chapter or tomorrow's chapter. I'm not sure when it's going to come out because Shadow keeps dropping it way too early. I'd be waking up and then seeing it. So, yeah, you might have another video out tonight or you might have another video out tomorrow morning. But yeah, I'm excited for this next chapter to see who's going to score. Let me know who you guys think is going to score, what you guys think is going to happen. Hope you guys leave a like and subscribe before you leave. Share to all your friends who like Blue Lock. And yeah, man, I hope you guys all have a great day. Goodbye.